Welcome, everyone, to the 2022 Lancaster Archery Classic here from Spooky Nook Sports Complex in Manheim, Pennsylvania, as we are setting the stage for our first match of 2022 in what is called a shoot-up format. And we are center stage as fans of archery are still streaming into the arena. Welcome. I'm Greg White, sitting alongside Kyle Douglas, as he's going to be with us for these first two matches. And if you don't know Kyle Douglas, well, you should. Kyle, your resume is long and distinguished as of late, right? 2 Vegas wins in a row, 2 NFA Indoor Nationals, 2 USA Archery Nationals in a row. I mean, just absolutely shredding it right now. How is the weekend going? How are things here in Pennsylvania?
It's been going pretty good, actually. Qualified second, rolled through matches fairly smoothly today. And I'm seated in first going into the shoot-ups tomorrow.
And his insight is going to be valuable for us in this next match. Let's take a look at some things, some rules on how things are shaping up. Look, these are the rules for our shoot-up here today in Senior Open. Top 4 qualify. Their rank ties are broken by 11s. It's a bottom-up format. What that means is number 4 is going to shoot against 3. Whoever wins is going to go phase 2, and whoever wins that match is going to go face the number 1 qualifier. As for new changes for 2022, max points goes to 136 because there's a 12 ring in play, a 1.5 centimeter white dot that you haven't seen before. A lot of you new only in the shoot up. You must call it for it to count though, and we're going to show you how that works as the matches roll on. However, Kyle, you can only call one of those per end. So the question's going to be for these archers, if they need that extra point, when are they going to call it?
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. You know, it's a pretty big risk for not a whole lot of reward. So if you needed it, the point's there. But, you know, if you miss it, that's a pretty big hurt.
It certainly is. We are ready to get shooting going. So let's get to the third member of our broadcast team, PJ Riley. Hey, PJ.
All right. Thanks, Greg. Let's get things started here. Welcome to the 2022 Lancaster Archery Classic Finals. We appreciate everybody being here. First up, we have our Senior Open division. So for well, actually, before we do that, I want to tell you folks something. So as you know, for this finals, we have a special target for the finals only. That white dot, if some of you are young enough to be able to see it down there, that's a 12 ring. So our archers, if they want to call for that 12 ring, you're going to see them. They're going to step on this red light. Can you see that red light? Maybe if you stand up in the back. There's a red light under there. That's going to indicate that they are shooting for that 12 ring there, or that it's in play. They can call it once per end. So that's a new feature. Just wanted to tell you folks all about it. But let's get things going. We have Senior Open. Our first shooter is Ken Shannon, I believe. We'll tell you a little bit about Ken here in a second. Okay, we got that right. All right, our third qualifier in Senior Open is Tony Harbaugh. Let's welcome Tony. As our archers are making the way in, the higher seed will get the choice of which side they want to shoot on and the order they want to shoot. Our judge, Larry Wise, is going to instruct the archers.
Second. So you shoot second?
Yeah.
That's up, gentlemen.
Tony's going to shoot right side and first.
All right, so now archers are all set, and we are ready to go. Of course, the higher ranking archer gets to pick which side that they're on. So yeah, new to Lancaster Archery Classic, of course, is that button, Kyle. I think that's the first time you're hearing about that or seeing that too, is that right?
Yeah, they told us in the shooters meeting after we got done shooting they would have a button up here, but that's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, so strategically placed in the middle, just in case of a right-handed shooter or left-handed shooter. Something new, and it's really good for the judges, as much as it is for us as well. If the shooters, you know what would be amazing is if a shooter came out in the first arrow and said, I'm going for a 12, let's put the pressure on and hit it.
Yeah, that would be pretty gutsy.
So once again, the 11 ring in play. Same size target as you would see at the famous Vegas shoot, but here at the Lancaster Archery Classic, the 11 points is counted for the X ring. So Ken Shannon out of Siegel, Pennsylvania. He's been shooting for 60 years. If you can believe that. That is what archery is all about. The accessibility throughout your life. All right, Kyle, so the distance that we're shooting here in indoor archery in this particular tournament is 18 meters. So as you look down range and you're saying, well, I just keep shooting some low nines there, what are you going to do as an archer? What are you thinking?
Well, first thing I'm going to look at is if I thought it was me that shot the low, or if I think I broke a good shot and then I hit low. If I think I broke a good shot, I'm going to automatically move my sight. You know, one arrow doesn't hit where I thought my pin was. I'm going to start cranking on that sight. If I thought I dipped out the bottom or something like that, maybe wait for a second one before I go ahead and move my sight.
Up here in PA, a little bit north and west of here.
All right, how long you been shooting? Because I heard it's a pretty impressive number.
60 years.
All right, what's your home shop that you shoot out of, Ken?
I shoot out of Cabot Archery in Sarver, PA.
All right, great shooting, Ken. Welcome to the Classic. We will come over here. Tony, where are you from?
Jerome, Idaho.
From Idaho. All right, so you love this weather we're having outside right now.
It's just like home.
Tony, how long you been shooting a bow?
50 plus, somewhere in there.
Gotcha. And your home shop, what do you shoot from?
I shoot from Advantage Archery.
Advantage Archery. All right, guys, we'll get our arrows scored down here. It looks like we have Ken Shannon with a 30-29 advantage.
Ken, you'll have a choice to shoot first.
As we look at Tony and what's in his quiver, he's using feathers, feather veins. Kyle, what's your choice when you're shooting indoor?
I'm shooting, you know, the regular plastic veins. I used to run feathers back in the day when I first got into it, and then kind of made the switch over a few years ago.
Don't you find that as you travel, as you do, you have to travel for these tournaments, that the plastic stuff ends up being more durable over time?
Yeah, typically feathers are going to wear out faster than a plastic vein is, for sure.
Good shot from Ken Shannon. Harbaugh hanging him a little bit low on that one. You can see that he made an adjustment either in his shooting or his sight. I think it was his shooting on his last arrow of the first end. A little bit of English on that last one, huh? On the release.
Yeah, you got to give it all you got.
11-10.
Different environment shooting up on stage, isn't it, Kyle?
Yeah, it's totally different shooting up there than shooting at home or even in qualification or anything like that. You know, you got all the lights on, you know, the announcers talking to you. Everything's totally different.
So these shooters, even though they've shot many years, it's a little different when you get to the main stage.
Yeah, and I don't care who you are. Once you get up there on that stage, you're going to be nervous. You know, you could have won all the tournaments you've ever shot in your life, and you're still going to be nervous when you step up there.
So we have judges down there taking a look at scoring. And again, as you look at that target, that very center ring is worth 11 points. And in archery, Kyle, what would you score that arrow right there?
From this angle over here, it looks like it's probably in. The line's kind of pushed a little bit, but if the line was actually there, it looks like it should touch.
All right, let's go to PJ.
I was going to say, are you nervous up there? Because I'm nervous and I'm not even shooting.
You know, that's what it's all about. You got to be nervous. You know, how well do you handle it, you know?
All right, Ken. Tony, same question. Classic, how long you been coming, or is this your first year?
I've been coming quite a while, from when it was originally in the basement at the store.
Well, we appreciate your support all these years. What is it that you like about the Classic format?
I like the competition and the people here. It's just, you can't replace it.
Gotcha. Well, we certainly appreciate you folks coming out here and everyone coming out. Our score, my signal's down.
And looking at Tony Harbaugh, I mean, you're familiar with Tony. He's from your area. You get to be in the same competitions. He has local stuff, right?
Yeah, Tony lives a few hours north of me up in Idaho, so we get to see him quite a bit at the local tournaments and stuff at home.
Now, Kyle, I'm curious as we take a look at some of the replays on the shots and a little bit of that English that we talked about from Ken Shannon, where let's talk about that English, okay? So when you released that shot and you saw Ken just move his arm to the left, what is that really all about?
To me, that's telling me that his sight wasn't in the middle as it broke, and he's just, he's trying to force it back over into there. A lot of times it doesn't really do anything because the arrow's already out of the bow, but
yeah.
It's just kind of a natural reaction when you're trying as hard as you can to get that sight to come back over.
Leave it 10.
Yeah, see that shot right there, you could just tell on anchor to release that he was confident in that shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see a little bit of shaking in the hand there. It's kind of one of the signs that you're nervous. Your whole body just starts shaking on you.
It's also the sign of age, Kyle. You don't know it yet, but trust me. Part of the reason why archery has those classes broken down, available as you get older. You know, a master's class 50, this is, you know, senior open, it's going to be 60 plus, and you can get deeper too because of, you know, the amount of poundage you can pull, how steady you hold the bow, and so it keeps it competitive. Even though your scores aren't going to match what someone like you shoots, you know, who can go to Vegas, for instance, and clean it, or come here and just shoot, you know, literally miss what, 2 11s?
I've missed 3 so far between matches and
all
qualifications.
told, yeah, exactly. And we had one archer who's going to be, we'll talk about, you know, tomorrow in our matches, but cleaned it. Only the 3rd archer to clean the Lancaster Archery Classic. An accessible tournament for everybody if you can make it here. The largest tournament on the East Coast of the United States. A couple thousand competitors a year to come up. So here we have a score, 93 to 89. So we have a 4-point difference. Is it worth 4-point difference, Kyle, to try to gun for the 12? I mean, the thing we do know about this one-on-one matchup is, for sure, you know, you can sit you're in 4th place, so why not go for it? But unfortunately, time's running out. There's only so many points available, right?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's kind of within a 1-point type of deal when you're going to shoot at that. If you're 4 points down, you would have had to start shooting it a while ago to really make it worth it.
Nice shot. Low 11 in archery, where we are in scoring and in general scoring, as long as your arrow is touching the higher valued line, as long as it's touching that line, you get credited for the higher points value. In that particular case, the first arrow that we saw from Tony Harbaugh, who we're looking at right now, that was easily half shaft.
10, 11 line.
Generally, if you see the 10 line broken, even with 27 diameter arrows, it's not going to get to the X ring or the 11 ring.
Yeah, you can actually be, with a 27, you can be outside of the 10 line, but not by much. There's a little bit of room there, but you can't be a whole lot outside of the 10 ring and still catch that 11.
I believe Tony went for that 12. He did. Dropped a little bit low. A good match nonetheless.
Thanks for shooting for that 12 there, Tony. Now we know everything works.
You can see bottom right. Looks like that light was on. I didn't see him click that light, but once again, if you're new, just tuning in, there is a 12 ring. Let's get to PJ.
Tony's going to finish 4th in Senior Open, take home $500. Tony, thanks for coming out.
Okay, so
All right, let's bring out our second place
back to PJ.
qualifier, John Freeman from Old Town, Maine. Apparently, John loves shooting targets, which is fortunate for us here today. John gets to choose his shooting position. He's going to bump Ken off.
All right, Kyle, what we saw there was moving an archer off of his spot onto another spot. Why would you do that?
I mean, it's just he's kind of getting comfortable up there on his spot, and if he's won a match, I mean, it kind of helps in your favor to maybe try and throw things off just a little bit for him, you know, get him out of his rhythm.
Mm-hmm. All right, so in this Senior Open category, our first shoot-up of the 2022 Lancaster Archery Classic, the podium's been decided. We know that John Freeman and Ken Shannon, along with our #1 qualifier, Jack Elliot, are on the podium. It's just a matter of deciding who's going where. And the good news for this archer, Ken Shannon, warmed up, comfortable. One of the things we love to see in archery as well is the mix of manufacturers that are, bow manufacturers that are shooting. As you take a look at Ken Shannon, he's shooting a PSE bow. And our last competitor who was up on stage, Harbaugh, was shooting for Hoyt. And now Freeman shooting a Bowtech. And you'll see this as you watch our continued coverage throughout today and tomorrow. A blend of manufacturers that make their way into these finals.
11.
Good solid shooting.
Good shooting, guys. John Freeman, you know, from Maine. How many years have you been coming to the Classic?
This is my 5th year.
5th year. What is it that you like about the Classic?
I don't know, getting nervous when I'm shooting.
Are you feeling nerves yet, or are you another end?
Yep, I am. I like shooting bows. I like shooting targets.
All right, John, welcome to the Classic. We certainly appreciate you coming out. Looks like we have Ken Shannon with the lead, 32-31.
You can hear a little bit of scoring down there, and what's happening is you have the judge making the calls, scores being written down. And Kyle, looking at the replays, what are you seeing from these shooters?
It looks like they're starting to calm down a little bit. You know, as you first get on the stage, you know, especially, you're going to be pretty nervous and stuff. But the more matches you start to shoot and stuff, the more you're gonna calm down. But these two guys both kind of came out of here strong on the first end there.
So if you're in the arena and you can kind of hear PJ talking a little bit, what he's explaining to the crowd is when we look at that 12 ring that's available on the target, which you have seen, it is that 1.5 centimeter ring that's put down right on that 7-8 ring, right? Is that right where it is? 7-8 ring?
Yep, right on the 7-8 line at 6 o'clock.
If you call it and you want to shoot for it, if you miss it, you just get the normal scoring ring that you get. So the risk is, you know, if you miss it high, it's going to be in the 8. If you miss it low, it could be in the 7 ring, or even drop it real low, you're in the 6 ring, which is the blue ring. So that's what PJ was explaining to the crowd in terms of the risk reward available for this new format 12 ring. After 4 arrows, 1 point difference. Of course, this is 4 ends of competition. If you're new to archery, the way we talk about how you shoot your arrows is, in this particular case, there's 3 arrows per end. An end is a group of arrows, then you go down, you score them, you collect them, and then you get them back. So we have 4 ends total. Highest points wins. Ties are broken by how many 11s they shoot. If we do have a tie, then we get to the tie rules, which if we get there today, we'll bring those up for you and let you know. But right now, these archers, you can see The light underneath the stage they're standing on. How about a 33 for Freeman? Great shooting for him. And only his second end as he's trying to calm the nerves down.
Yeah, he started off pretty strong here in this match.
So total, when you add up qualifications, Kyle, which is 660 points was the total available, and then you add the elimination rounds, the total points for the senior open class would have been 924. So for John Freeman, he came in here with a total points haul of 880 out of 924 available points. So it looks like we are sitting on a tie right now, 64-64, as we head into the third end of competition. And for John Freeman, that 880 was just a single point ahead of Tony Harbaugh and Ken Shannon. But it's our first place qualifier. These two archers are trying to shoot their way into that final #1 spot against Jack Elliot, who we'll introduce you to a little bit later. Jack Elliot only dropped 23 points all weekend in the senior open category. So these shooters, very capable.
And he absolutely stuffed that one.
Now, Kyle, when we zoom in on both these archers, what are you seeing from them in their right hand, their release hand? What type of release are they using?
You know, I honestly haven't been paying enough attention to tell you, but I can tell you in a second.
There's a good look.
Yeah, so it looks like he's shooting a thumb button release there. I can't tell if he's command shooting it like I do or if he's just kind of pulling through with his back, which most shooters are going to shoot even like a thumb button with back tension still.
All right, so what's the difference between a command shooter and then what you're talking about?
So basically somebody that's shooting on command would be you are consciously firing the release. When you feel like your sight picture is lined up where you want it, you hit the button on the release to fire it. Somebody that's shooting with back tension is shooting more subconscious. They apply pressure to the release until it goes off, and typically they're not going to know exactly when that release will fire.
So for John Freeman, after coming off of such a strong 33 end, and this is what happens in archery, right? You shoot a couple of 9s, and all of a sudden you go from 33 to 28, and there's your point swing. Part of what makes the Lancaster Archery Classic so unique and so special for indoor shooting is that you can have these massive point swings.
Yeah, indoor is pretty crazy. I mean, you can see matches where everybody cleans it, and you come to a tie at the end, and you can see other ones where there's just a big point change from arrow to arrow even.
Mm-hmm. Final 3 arrows to lock up second place in the senior open category and advance to shoot against their #1 qualifier.
11.
Once again, all that arrow has to do is just touch that outside line of the 11 ring to count.
10.
So John Freeman is back on point. The question is it a little too late?
11.
Ken Shannon, an 11 on his 24th arrow so far shot in the shoot-up.
9.
Yeah, you could see from the look on Freeman's face, he wasn't happy with that shot, was he?
No, I'm sure he's not very happy with himself after that one. Wish he could have done a little better.
Wait for our judge's official score here before I prematurely say someone won.
Oh, thanks.
And then find out my math was wrong.
11.
So as we wait the judges' final scores, we'll see who is going to advance to shoot for that #1 spot. I'll looking at Freeman's face there, you could definitely tell that he knew exactly what happened when that shot broke.
Yeah, that's one of the ones you wish you could pull it back with the string before it gets to the target and redo it.
123. John finishing third in our.
So it looks like John Freeman's on a 123, so he will finish in 3rd place. Freeman coming in as a 2nd place qualifier will stand on the podium, but Ken Shannon now advances. And Shannon was our 4th place qualifier. And so Shannon now is getting deep in the arrows, in the arrow count.
Our final match, we have our #1 qualifier, Jack Elliot from Shelby, North Carolina. Come on out, Jack. Jack will get to choose where he wants to shoot. Bump, he says. Ken knows what that means. Jack's choosing to shoot 2nd.
So there we go. This is for the #1 spot for the win here at the 2022 Lancaster Archery Classic in the Senior Open Division. Jack Elliot was your #1 qualifier. Shot his way through the elimination rounds. Shot a total of 901 points out of a possible 924. Ken Shannon was your 4th place qualifier at 879 points. Is now working on arrow number 25. And 25th arrow for Ken Shannon, a 12. Now for Jack Elliot, his 1st arrow in the shoot up today. Ooh, that's a close one. Definitely a close one.
Yeah, that one looks very close. He's probably just on the outside, but still a good shot.
Yeah, you can see on the release, just like you're talking about, with that thumb button. You know, when you see it, it's not in the middle, and you hit that thumb button, it is so frustrating.
Oh yeah, he knew it wasn't going to be in the middle before the arrow even got to the target. You could tell on his face.
Oh wait, no, sorry. Ken, I think shoots the. Ken shoots the hinge release. Oh no, there he's got the thumb button.
9.
Let's talk about stabilizer setup. You know, as you look at Jack Elliot here, looks like he's got a different stabilizer setup, doesn't he? He's got 2 coming off the bottom of that bow. Yeah. Kyle, why would you do that at 11?
Different people just like different setups on their bow. You know, if you don't like a whole lot of weight hanging off the left-hand side of your bow, you may want to go to V-bars.
Jack, how long have you been coming to the Classic?
1st year.
1st year. What do you think so far?
It's great, great.
What do you like about this format? What are you used to? Mainly like league-style shooting or head-to-head matches? What are you used to at home?
9. I usually just shoot 3D.
There you go. So indoor, you don't do much of that, or?
No.
You're getting ready for like Foley in a month when it's warm and not cold outside and all that.
Yes.
All right, Jack. Thanks. Well, we appreciate you taking up indoor, at least for this weekend.
A man of many words, Jack Elliot, out of Shelby, North Carolina, just west of Charlotte. So a little different environment in terms of weather, definitely what PJ was talking about. So I'm sure he's on his way to Foley, Alabama, coming up in a few weeks to kick off the ASA season. But as we continue on here for this #1 position, the win of the Senior Open Division here at the 2022 Lancaster Archery Classic. 18 meters downrange, that's from the line of where they're standing to where the target face lands. Indoor archery shooting a 40-centimeter target face.
11.
That 10 ring just 4 centimeters. Yep. was an easy read on the face.
Yes, it was.
Kyle, when you're in this situation on stage, do the nerves ever calm down at some point?
Sometimes they will. After you go through a few matches, you know, they start to go down a little bit. On your first match, usually they're going to be pretty nervous throughout the whole thing. You know, and different people feel nerves a little bit different. Some guys, they'll get really amped up, and then they'll calm down, and then they'll come back and kind of come in waves. Some guys stay nervous the whole time. Some guys are pretty relaxed and don't get too super worked up.
Now, I think that there's often a perception as we go to last arrow this end, a perception that archers aim back and they're just dead center right in the middle, and then they just wait for the shot to process. How do you shoot? How does your pin end up getting to the target?
I shoot it a little different than a lot of people do, being a command shooter. But for me, I just have to get my pin to the middle long enough to make it fire. I don't have to make it hold there forever. Or say somebody's shooting a hinge or a surprise release, they're going to want to, you know, sit there and aim in the middle and try and keep it as steady as they possibly can until that release will fire.
Can you find your groove up there?
Man, if I haven't found my groove by now, it's long gone and lost. I'm having fun, man.
That's good.
It's definitely something unique to this tournament. When you're shooting even league at home, nobody's coming up to you in the middle and talking to you in between ends when you're shooting for that #1 spot, are they?
Not usually, no. Yeah, that's a whole different element. Some guys like someone to kind of talk to them between ends and try and calm them down. Other guys don't like to be messed with because they're in the zone.
Mm-hmm. Third end of 4 for the win. We know that these two are going to be standing on the first 2 steps of the podium when this match is done. Only 1 point separate the two, and that's a good, solid 11 from Ken Shannon. Boy, his first target is looking impressive right now. Nine, 10 liner on that one. Long hold.
10, 11.
Long hold.
Yeah, it kind of gets tough when you get run down the clock here. You don't have really a whole lot of time to let down and reset. You've just got to make it go.
10.
That's a good point, Kyle. It's one thing that we haven't really talked about is the time on the clock per shot. So you can hear through the noise the buzzer that's going off to indicate each archer when the target, when the arrow hits that target for the 11, then the archer standing next to him will be indicated, hey, it's time for you to go. Time to score these arrows once again. It's a really good idea of what it looks like for these archers shooting downrange. Once again, 18 meters, just about 20 yards. It's like really 19.9 something yards, but
close enough we can call it 20 yards.
Yeah.
For people that aren't too stickler.
For people that aren't great at archery like me, what I'd say is it's about 2 to 3 clicks. That's the difference between 20 yards and 18 meters. You know, I talk to pro shooters like you, they're like, I don't even change my sight. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Of course you got to change the sight.
Give it a couple safety clicks just
That's
for good
all I'm
measure.
saying. A couple safety clicks. What's the big deal? I'd rather shoot it a little high X than a low one, because do you find that archers have a tendency, you know, have a pattern sometimes of where they do miss?
Yeah, typically, you know, you're going to know your tendencies and whether you tend to hold low or you know, blast them out the top or whatever you may struggle with. But yeah, you're always going to have those ones that you're always fighting.
Final 3 arrows for the win. Single points difference between Elliott and Shannon. If Elliott hits an 11 here, we're all tied up.
Oh, so close.
So close. Ken Shannon still with a 1-point lead. Not happy with that shot. Could we see, for the number 1 spot, someone risking the 12 ring? That one was a tough one.
That's not what he's looking for right there.
However, if Elliott shoots a 10 here. Okay, so now, looking at the difference.
He is within striking distance with the 12 ring.
But he didn't call it. Okay, so he shoots an 11.
Made a good shot there.
Yeah. So now we're going to check on that score. 9, 10, 11 scored. Would you have called that 12?
I would have, yeah.
I think sometimes the problem is like no one, this is unique, right? Like no one's ever done. He literally, Jack could have just forgotten that that option was available.
Yeah, when you get up there on stage, everything is moving so fast around you. You have a hard time calming down and realizing, you know, thinking things through. So he may have just totally, you know, not even thought about the 12 ring there and not realized what the scores were.
All right, that is official.
Good shots. Ken Shannon, 121, and Jack Elliott, 120. So Ken Shannon is able to shoot his way up from 4th to the win.
And for Ken Shannon, our winner, $3,000 payout. Ken, have you won the Classic before?
No, I came in third the last time we had it.
How's this feel? How's this rank in your litany of trophies in archery competition?
I'd say it's probably the best.
All right, Ken, congratulations. We appreciate you coming out here.
Thank you. Thanks for a great event.
Thank you, Jack. Senior Open.
Well, that was quite something. Going from 4th place and shooting his way up through the ranks. He had to launch 12 arrows 3 times in order to get it done.
That's pretty impressive.
It was definitely impressive for Ken Shannon. Local favorite here in Pennsylvania. So Ken's on with us right now. Ken, Greg White here. Congratulations. That was a lot of arrows for you to win this one. How do you feel?
I'm tired.
You know what? You had some shots that were absolutely brilliant. We also saw some shots that you had a grimace on your face. How did it overall go for you?
Pretty good. I pretty much shot maybe just a little bit lower than I do practicing the whole weekend, so I can't ask for any more. You know, I just try to shoot every arrow as good as you can shoot it and let the chips fall.
And did you think that Elliott was going to take that 12 for that last one to try to give himself a chance to tie you?
I honestly didn't think about that. You know, I just kind of do my own thing and see what happens.
Well, congratulations, man. You're the champion. Great run for you, and can't wait to see you again next year.
Thank you. I'll be here, God willing, and I love this tournament.
All right. So Pennsylvania's Ken Shannon with the victory here in Senior Open.
Women's Open.
All right.
We fourth place qualifier, Sachiko Keene, 14 years old from Staten Island. She is not 14, that's her qualification, sorry. Sorry about that. And our third